Sam starts us off with a forest, while John plays a fortified village, revealing a breeding pool, and starting to ramp with a noble hierarch. Tom then plays a swamp, and Extra plays a training ground before rounding out the turn with a sleight of hand. Wanting to ramp a bit himself, Sam plays a mountain and casts 3 visits, getting Commercial District into play tap, using its effect to surveil a card to the graveyard before passing. John plays a Vine Glimmer Snarl, revealing Breeding Pool yet again, and continues to expand his mana with a Talisman of Curiosity. He then attacks Sam with his Hierarch, triggering his Exalted effect to deal a total of 1 damage. After that massive blow, he passes. On his turn, Tom plays a Pillar Verge Pathway, then taps out for a Horde Robber. Extra plays an island, and immediately passes, keeping his mana open. Sam plays a Cinderglade for turn, and menacingly passes to John. John plays an island, and casts his first payoff in Future Sight. After revealing his top card, he passes. Tom first attacks John with his Robber, triggering his effect to make a treasure, followed by a missed land drop and a Lodo, Corrupt Sheriff. Extra plays a mountain, casts his commander, Stella Lee Wildcard, and tries to pass a turn, with Sam intervening by casting an unexpected Windfall, discarding a card for cost, drawing 2 cards, and making 2 treasures. Sam plays a Treasure Vault, followed by his own commander, Roxanne, Starfall Savant. When she enters, a meteorite falls from the sky, dealing 2 to Lofo, before passing the turn. John plays a forest, and continues the commander train with Kellan the Kid. He then casts his younger, adventurous self, and Kellan, Inquisitive Prodigy, from the top of his deck, followed by another land drop in Branchloft Pathway, and the Nature's Lore, fetching Aspara's headquarters. With that, he ends his turn. Losing his way to generate mana, Tom pours the last of his mana into Breach's Eager Pillager, hoping for a more prosperous future. Extra, seeing that the doors are wide open, decides to go for it, casting Slip Through Space on Stella, followed by Crimson Wisp, triggering Stella's effect to exile the top card, which he plays as his land for turn. He goes for the finishing blow, casting Cerulean Wisp on Stella, and activates her to copy it again, targeting herself. Unfortunately for him, Sam will be having none of it this time around, kindly showing him a beast within, going after Stella. With his plans ruined, Extra sadly passes the turn to Sam. Sam plays a mountain for turn, and casts Sultan, Mayhem Dominus. He then uses Roxanne to attack John with the now improved Draco Meteor, taking out Kellan. After combat, he casts Hell to Pay for X equals 3 on Hierarch, dealing 6 damage thanks to Sultan, and making 5 tapped treasures. He then passes. John first casts Vega the Watcher, followed closely by Vizier of the Menagerie for the top of his deck, triggering the newly cast Vega to draw. He then plays the now twice revealed Breeding Pool tapped, and passes to Tom. Tom first casts Infernal Grasp on Sulfim, clearing a way for both Breaches and Robber to attack Sam. Breaches triggers first, making a treasure, followed by Robber making his own. With his mana reserve replenished, he passes. Extra plays an island, and recasts his commander, Stella Lee Wildcard. He then sends the beast where it rightfully belongs, to Sam's face, and passes the turn back to him. Sam plays a forest for turn, then casts Swella, Ice Shaper. This time, he sends Roxanne an Extra, triggering her effect to have the incoming meteorite cook Sam's precious watching bird. Extra then takes the hit, and Sam passes. John plays a tapped Hedge Maze from the top of his deck, surveilling and leaving the card on top. before immediately casting said Avacyn's Pilgrim from the top, followed by a recast of his commander, Kellan the Kid, to round out the turn. Tom plays a spectator's seating as his land drop, then proceeds to cast Olivia, Opulent Outlaw. He moves to combat, swing all out at Sam, triggering breaches to prevent Swella from blocking. Sam then takes the hit, triggering Olivia twice, which we then incorrectly change to once, and rob her to altogether make 3 treasures. Once his pockets are filled up a bit, he passes to Extra. Extra first casts Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy, followed by Preordain, triggering Gale on Cerulean Wisps, and Stella to exile his top card. He casts said Cerulean Wisp on Stella, activating her effect to try his hand at the combo a second time. Seeing he has yet to learn his lesson, Sam casts Second Harvest, dropping 2 Meteorite triggers on Stella and 1 on Pilgrim, once again thwarting Extra. After that Preordain resolves, Extra plays the exiled command tower and passes back to his arch nemesis. Having nothing else to do, Sam activates Swella, finding and casting Old Gnawbone. He plays a forest, then attacks Tom with Roxanne, this time having the Meteorite drop on John. Tom then takes the hit, triggering Gnawbone to make 4 treasures, before passing the turn. John first casts Fateful Mending, drawing 2, discarding 2, and gaining 2 life. He plays a Hinterland Harbor from the top, followed by Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty from his top as well, triggering Kellan, cast a free Simic Signet, and Emoti to cascade into Beast Within, which gets used on Swella. After that, he foretells a card, and passes to Tom. Tom first attacks Extra with his Olivia, and Sam with Breaches, triggering his effect to make Gnawbone unable to block. Both players then take the hit, triggering Olivia to make 2 treasures. In his second main, he casts Nadir's Nightblade, and passes. On his turn, Extra casts Expressive Iteration, exiling Soul Ring, and casting it alongside Battle Mage's Bracers. He then plays the Steam Vents, paying 2 life, and passes it back to Sam. With nothing to do pre-combat, Sam sends his Gnawbone at John, and Roxanne at Tom, triggering her effect to crush Emoti. Before damage, John casts the adventure part of Brazen Borrower on Gnawbone, not wanting to see any more treasures. In his second main, Sam casts Panharmonicon, and he returned Old Gnawbone, before passing the turn. John first casts Sage of the Beyond from the top of his deck, triggering Kellan to cast a free Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Next is the foretold Behold the Multiverse, and the exiled Kellan, Inquisitive Prodigy. He attacks Tom with Vizier and Kellan, then passes him the turn. Tom plays a Battlefield Forge for turn, then plays the pinging duo of Reckless Fireweaver and Ingenious Artillerist. In the process, Nightblade triggers, draining each opponent for 1. He attacks Extra with both Olivia and Breaches, triggering Breaches so that the beast can't block. Before damage, Extra casts Chaos Warp on Olivia, revealing Terminate. He then takes the hit, and Tom passes the turn. Extra casts Storm of Saruman, followed by Opt, triggering Storm to copy it, and Gale to cast Preordain from his graveyard. After everything resolves, he plays an island, and passes. Sam plays a mountain for turn, and casts City of Death, making a treasure. He then attacks Tom with Roxanne, sending her Meteorites at Artillerist and John. In response, Tom casts Big Score, discarding a card for cost. This also triggers Nightblade to drain for 4. In response to the score, Extra casts Lightning Bolt on Fireweaver, triggering Gale to cast Sleight of Hand. which gets copied by Storm. Big Score then eventually resolves, making 2 treasures, triggering Artillerist to deal 2 damage, followed by Deadly Dispute, sacrificing said Artillerist, while again triggering Nightblade to drain 2. Once all is settled and resolved, Tom takes the hit, and Sam passes the turn to John. John flashes back, behold the multiverse, followed by a few permanents from the top, those being Birds of Paradise, Temple Garden, and Battle Mammoth. He then sends everything at Tom, triggering Kellan to destroy Extra's Soul Ring. Tom takes yet another hit, before proceeding to his turn. Tom casts Pitiless Plunderer, attacks Extra with Breaches, triggering his effect to make a treasure, then passes to Extra. Extra only plays a mountain for turn, then suspiciously passes the turn. On Sam's turn, City of Death triggers, making another meteorite, sending the damage at John. He then casts Ingenious Artillerist, and all hell begins to break loose. Extra casts Born Upon a Wind, allowing him to flash in Urabrask, triggering Storm to make a copy. He then casts Rapid Hybridization on the air, triggering both Urabrask at John, while triggering John's Mammoth. In response, John casts Pongify on the Urabrask copy. Not yielding, Extra responds with his own Pongify on Sage, again triggering Urabrask and Mammoth to draw. After drawing his card, John casts his own Rapid Hybridization on the original Urabrask. Hybridization, Pongify, and 2 Urabrask triggers resolve, and with the rest still on the stack, Sam uses his red mana to cast Expedite on Urabrask, triggering him, and Gale to cast Expressive Iteration from his graveyard, making another mana with Urabrask. He then casts Crash Through, that he exiled with Iteration, and triggers Gale to recast Expedite. After having everything but the Artillerist resolve, Extra finishes off his 3rd attempt with an Electrostatic Field and an Arcane Signet. Artillerist finally makes it into play, and Sam immediately attacks Tom with Gnawbone. Knowing that this hit will kill him, Tom casts Terminate on Artillerist, triggering Nightblade to drain 2. This is exactly what Sam had planned, so now he uses everything he has to activate Treasure Vault, making 30 treasures, and triggering Artillerist to deal a total of 60 damage to each opponent. To no one's surprise, Sam is left as the only survivor and the winner of today's game.